Welcome to our 2024 presidential election update. It's Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and we're diving into who's leading the race. We'll break down the latest polling data across all 50 states. From battleground states to key trends, we've got it all covered. Let's dive into the numbers. Let's watch. New York. In New York, Harris leads with 56%, holding a solid 16-point advantage over Trump's 39%. This state remains a Democratic stronghold. Florida. Florida is always a pivotal battleground. Trump leads Harris by 5 points, here securing 50% of the vote to her 45% at stake. This state is crucial for Trump. New Mexico. In New Mexico, Harris holds a 7-point lead with 49% of the vote, while Trump sits at 42%. This state leans blue, but remains competitive. North Carolina. A razor-thin margin in North Carolina, where Trump leads by just 1%. He has 48% of the vote compared to Harris's 47%. Both candidates are heavily targeting this swing state. Georgia, a former Republican stronghold, turned battleground shows Trump ahead by 1 point, with 48% of the vote to Harris's 47%. Michigan. In Michigan, another critical state, Trump leads by 1 point with 47%, while Harris is right behind him at 46%. This Rust Belt state is crucial for both candidates. Nevada. Nevada is close with Trump, leading by 1 point, securing 46% to Harris's 45%. Both campaigns are working hard to win over undecided voters. Arizona. Arizona is another key battleground where Trump leads by 2 points. Trump secures 49% of the vote to Harris's 47%. It's a close race, and both sides are fighting hard for this swing state. Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, Trump leads Harris by 0.3%, with 47.3% to her 47%. This swing state could very well decide the election. Wisconsin. Wisconsin is leaning slightly toward Harris, who has a 0.5% lead over Trump, with 48.2% to his 47.7%. Another critical battleground. Oregon. Oregon remains solidly Democratic with Harris, leading by 12 points at 53% compared to Trump's 41%. Texas. In Texas, Trump holds a 5-point lead over Harris, with 50% to her 45%. This state's 40 electoral votes are a must-win for Trump. Washington. Harris leads in Washington by a commanding 20 points with 56% of the vote to Trump's 35%, a solid blue state. Maryland. Maryland is firmly in Harris's column with 62%, giving her a 29-point lead over Trump's 32%. New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, Harris holds a 9-point lead over Trump, with 51% to his 42%. Ohio. Ohio is leaning toward Trump with a 6-point lead. He has 51% to Harris's 44%, making this a key state for his path to victory. Alaska. Trump leads in Alaska by 7 points, with 50% to Harris's 43%. Historically a red state, Alaska remains in Trump's favor. California. California remains deep blue with Harris leading by a substantial 24 points. She holds 59% of the vote to Trump's 34%. Minnesota. In Minnesota, Harris holds a slim lead of 6 points over Trump, with 49% of the vote against Trump's 43%. Though traditionally blue, this is a state Trump has eyed for a flip. Utah. Trump leads in Utah, with 54%, a 16-point advantage over Harris's 38%. This is a reliably Republican state. Massachusetts. Massachusetts is solidly Democratic with Harris, leading by 28 points, holding 60% to Trump's 32%. Tennessee. In Tennessee, Trump leads by 21 points, with 56% of the vote, compared to Harris's 35%. Montana. Montana shows a 19-point lead for Trump, with 58% of the vote, compared to Harris's 39%. Virginia. In Virginia, Harris leads by 7 points with 50% of the vote to Trump's 42%. Iowa leans Republican with Trump leading by 5 points, holding 49% to Harris's 44%. North Dakota. North Dakota is solidly red with Trump leading by 27 points, holding 59% of the vote to Harris's 32%. South Carolina. Trump leads by 10 points in South Carolina, holding 52% of the vote to Harris's 42%. Indiana. In Indiana, Trump holds a 16.5-point lead with 56% of the vote to Harris's 39.5%. Nebraska District 2 inches. In Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, Harris leads by 8.4 points with 50.7%, while Trump holds 42.3%. Is Delaware. Delaware remains a solid Democratic state with Harris leading by 18.5 points, holding 55% to Trump's 36.5%. Maine District 1 inch Maine's 1st District is strongly in Harris's camp, where she leads by 27 points with 61% compared to Trump's 34%. Maine District 2 inches Maine's 2nd District is more competitive with Trump, leading by 1 point at 48% compared to Harris's 47%. Missouri. Trump leads in Missouri by 11.5 points, securing 53.5% of the vote to Harris's 42%. Arkansas. Trump holds a 15-point lead in Arkansas with 55% to Harris's 40%. Idaho. In Idaho, Trump dominates with 60% of the vote, leading Harris by 26 points. In Illinois, Harris leads in Illinois by 15 points, holding 55% to Trump's 40%. Kansas. Trump leads Kansas with 55% of the vote, a 16-point advantage over Harris's 39%. Kentucky. Kentucky is firmly in Trump's column, where he leads by 30 points, holding 62% to Harris's 32%. North Dakota. Trump dominates in North Dakota with 63% leading Harris by 32 points. South Dakota. Trump holds a commanding lead in South Dakota with 62% of the vote to Harris's 32%. Wyoming is overwhelmingly in Trump's favor, where he leads by 37 points with 65% of the vote. Nebraska. In Nebraska, Trump holds a 17-point lead with 54% to Harris's 37%. West Virginia. Trump leads in West Virginia by 27 points, holding 61% to Harris's 34%. Vermont. Vermont is solidly Democratic with Harris holding a massive 41-point lead, securing 70% of the vote to Trump's 29%. Alabama. Trump holds a 20-point lead in Alabama with 58% of the vote to Harris's 38%. Hawaii. Harris leads in Hawaii by 22 points, holding 58% to Trump's 36%. Louisiana. In Louisiana, Trump leads by 22 points, holding 59% of the vote to Harris's 37%. Mississippi. Mississippi is solidly red with Trump leading by 27 points, holding 61% to Harris's 34%. New Jersey. Harris leads New Jersey by 11 points, holding 53% of the vote to Trump's 42%. Colorado. Colorado remains in Harris's favor, with her leading by 11 points at 53% to Trump's 42%. Connecticut. In Connecticut, Harris leads by 16 points, holding 57% of the vote to Trump's 41%. Rhode Island. Rhode Island is another solid blue state, with Harris leading by 16.5 points, securing 57% of the vote to Trump's 40.5%. Maine. In Maine overall, Harris holds a 13-point lead with 54% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%. And there you have it. The race for the White House is heating up, with close contests in many key battleground states. Will Trump secure a path to victory, or will Harris turn these polls into electoral votes? Only time will tell. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates, analysis, and results as we count down to Election Day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest in the 2024 presidential.